Yes, my good fans out there, welcome. Now, I remain Dr. Dia Ijul, your lecturer on chemistry on social media. Our previous lecture was how to balance a chemical equation. And I told you certain principles or certain parameters or certain rules and regulations you ought to abide by to enable you to write a balanced equation or a chemical equation. Now, in trying to balance an equation, you must know the elements that are partaking in the reaction. You must know the chemical symbols of the elements that are participating in the reaction. You must be able to know the correct chemical formulas of the products that are about to be formed. You must be able to know the oxidation numbers of the elements that are partaking. And if they are radicals, you must be able to know those things. But all this will play an important role in balancing an equation. Now, what we have to do today is principles of balancing a chemical equation. Principles. There are principles. There are rules and regulations guiding you when you are about to balance an equation. I told you before, balancing an equation means that the number of atoms of the elements present at the reactant side must be equal or must be the same with the same element as it occurs or appears at the product side. Very important. Now let's go. Number one principle is that you must remember the law of conservation of mass or the law of indestructibility of matter. This law must be strictly observed. The law of conservation of matter means that matter cannot be created, not destroyed. You see, can only be converted from one to another. Then also, the law of what? Indestructibility of matter. You can't destroy matter and you can't create matter. So if you write a chemical equation and you are not able to balance it, it not means that you have either created some elements or some atoms of element or you have destroyed some. And in that case, you will be penalized. Then number two, start balancing the equation from the lowest numeral. For example, 2, 3, 4, and above in that order. You will balance the equation using the lowest numeral, not 1, but from 2. So now look at the following examples here on the board. Number 1 here. HCl is hydrochloric acid combined with what? Sodium carbonate, or we call it disodium triisocarbonate 4. They reacted and they formed sodium chloride, water, carbon oxide. Now, is the equation balanced? Let us check. Let's talk about hydrogen now. Hydrogen from here to the return side appears only one hydrogen. But if you look at this side here, hydrogen appears 2. It's not balanced. Now, chlorine here on this side is 1. Chlorine on this side is also 1. The chlorine itself is balanced. Now, let's talk about sodium. Sodium here is now on this side is 2, while on this side is 1. It's not balanced. So, talk about carbon. Carbon on this side appears only one time 1. Carbon here appears only one time 1. Carbon is balanced. What about oxygen? Oxygen here from here to here occurs 3 times, while here is what? 3, because this 2 plus 1, 3. So, some of the elements are balanced, some are not balanced. So, how do you balance it? Let us go about. Now, let us first of all balance sodium. Sodium here is 2, while it is what? 1 here. So, let's put 2 here. Now, these 2 that you put here is a multiplier. Therefore, it's also affecting chlorine. Chlorine has become 2 here. But on this side, chlorine is appearing what? 1. So to balance chlorine here, you can't put 2 here, but you put 2 here. And this 2 is a multiplier. And because you have done that, you have balanced chlorine here, 2. You have balanced also sodium, 2. Now, hydrogen here is 2. Hydrogen here is also what? 2. So if you look at all here, Only 2 hydrogens here, balance. Now, carbon is 1. If you look at this place here, carbon is also 1, the balance. Oxygen here is what? 3. Oxygen here is 2 plus 1, 3. So this is how you balance that equation. Now let's look at the second one here. This is ammonia gas breaking down to form nitrogen gas and hydrogen gas. Now, if you look at it here now, at this side of the reaction, nitrogen has only 1 atom, but on the product side, there are 2 nitrogen atoms. So it's not balanced. Now, here at this side of the reaction, which is the reactant, we have 3 hydrogen atoms, while at the product side, we have 2 hydrogen atoms. So it's not balanced. So if you leave it at this level, it means you are a chemist that don't know what you are doing. So we have to balance this equation starting from the lowest numeral 2. Now let's start from first. Nitrogen here is 2 at the product side, but at the reactant side is 1. So we now use 2. This 2 you are putting here is a coefficient and is a multiplier of everything in this compound. Now coming to nitrogen alone, it is 2, balanced. Here also balanced. Now coming to nitrogen now, to hydrogen now. Hydrogen is now 2 multiplied by this 3, 6. But here hydrogen is only 2. So to make here 6, you put 3 here. 3. So 3 times 2, 6. So it's also balanced. Now let's look at this one, the third one. Hydrogen gas with oxygen gas reacted to form water. Now, if you look at this here, we have hydrogen 2. Hydrogen 2, it's already balanced. But oxygen here is 2. Here oxygen is what? 1. To balance oxygen, you put 2 here, but 2 is a multiplier, because you can't put 2 here. If you put 2 here, this formula is no more water. It's hydrogen peroxide. So you can't put 2 here. So the correct formula is water. Now, with this one now, with these 2 you have balanced oxygen, 2 here. But since this 2 is a multiplier, it has made hydrogen 4. While hydrogen here is 2. So to make here also 4, you put 2 here. You have balanced that. Now here, magnesium with chlorine, magnesium chloride. Now Cl2, the 2 here is also here, is balanced. Magnesium is already balanced. Okay, now this is an acid. This is a salt. Now look at the products here. Sodium is 1 on this side. Sulfur is 1 on this side. Sulfur, how many here? 1 on this side. Then hydrogen here is 2. Hydrogen here, how many? 2. Okay. What about nitrogen? Here is 1. Nitrogen here is 1. Okay. What about sulfur? Sulfur on this side is 1. Sulfur here is also 1. So if you look at it now, it's already a balanced equation. So balancing equation means that the number of atoms of each element as they appear at the product side must be equal or must be the same to that element as it appears at the product side. So thank you for listening to me. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel for more lectures.